to happen this way. And at first, it started off with Bama having themselves 2 touchdowns and Ohio State having to settle for 2 field goals. Everybody was thinking, okay, well, Bama was going to run Ohio State out of the building. 21-6 even. Bama was still taking care of business in that one. But then Ohio State, they just did what not too many people expected them to do. Fight hard and continue to battle through this game and just to pull themselves a victory. They pulled within 1 at halftime, 21-20. They got themselves, and then after that, they just continued to battle with Alabama. Alabama would not go away, but Ohio State just seemed to have an answer every single time during the game. Now, very good game here. Cardale Jones, he did what he was expected to do, just managed the game a little bit. The running back situation, Ohio State's running back here continued to play pretty well. Got himself 200 yards in that game. So, you had to give him that. Especially with that game there. I mean, that's just amazing here. To see what they're doing and to see what they continue to play here. Ezekiel Elliott, by the way, especially Ezekiel Elliott had 200 yards in that game, and again, that's just one of those amazing points here. He comes out here, he does this, and against Alabama, nobody has ever ran for 200 yards against a Nick Saban, against a Nick Saban defense at Alabama. Nobody, and he comes. He runs for a good 230, and this is after getting 220 against Wisconsin and continuing to play pretty well out there. So right now he's on fire. He's continuing to do pretty well, and he's continuing to showcase what he can do. Now, who's going to win this game between Ohio State and Oregon? Now, I think it's going to be Oregon in this one. Wholeheartedly think Oregon has continued to get stronger. They've continued to play pretty well. I think Oregon has at least gotten themselves a very good win against a potent Big Ten foe earlier this season when they played against Michigan State. So they're at least know what's up with the Big 12. I know Urban Meyer's a little bit. It does have a little bit of a different. Has a little bit of a different twist to it here. It does come in from the from the pack, from the SEC and everything. So at least he has himself a little bit of a different style, different goal about. But I still think that it's going to be Oregon's going to win this game. I think it'll be probably. I don't know if it will be very close, but I think it's going to be very, very tight. I'd say about 10 points or something like that. So I would not be surprised if that is going to be the case. But I think Ohio State, they're probably going to find themselves. They're going to lose a little bit here, but we'll see what's going to happen here between that. Here, Ohio State has been pretty decent since losing to Virginia Tech. But then again, like you said, they really haven't played a lot of teams on the schedule here. But they have been hot as the season has gotten along here. And now they're just a step away from winning another national championship, the first one since 2002. But some more things that have just shook up the college world today too was Jameis Winston. He's decided to go pro through his father. His father said that he is going to go pro. That's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen between Jameis because you would think maybe Mariota stays. if Mariota goes, and if Mariota goes, then of course Winston is probably going to be the number 2 quarterback that's going to be taken, based on his maturity. But if Mariota goes, Jameis Winston is going to be the number 1 pick. It's going to be, if not the number 1 pick, he's going to be the number 1 quarterback chosen. Situation though is, where would Jameis go for him to be a very good fit? And you would think that maybe Jameis needs to go somewhere that's a mid-market place, there's not that much media. Maybe he has another, maybe he could be a starter, or maybe he could be a backup, something like that. Allow him to get some time to mature and to do anything, and to play pretty well. Now we look at the draft order that's going to go forward in the NFL draft this year. We have the Buccaneers as the number 1 pick. So, maybe we have that. Maybe we can see what's going to go on with that order here. So hopefully he could possibly try to do something, and maybe, maybe you can go somewhere like that. I'm just trying to get a chance here to see here between the top three, the top few picks here, to see what they possibly need as far as a quarterback. Maybe if we, like I said, if we see here what's going to go on between the draft here, there's going to be a lot of teams, a few teams here at the top of the list that are in need of a quarterback, and especially Tampa Bay. I think they got the number 1 pick. Tampa Bay is going to be in a situation where they're going to need a quarterback. Do they choose Mariota? If Mariota comes out, he might be that guy for Tampa Bay right there at 1. You next team that you have on the list here is the Tennessee Titans. Are they very happy with Zach Mettenberger? If they are, they'll keep him. I don't think they choose Jameis. If they're not, then Jameis goes there. But then after that, what if the Titans don't choose Jameis? Well, that the Jaguars are not going to choose Jameis because they got Blake Bortles. That the Raiders are not going to choose Jameis because they got Derek Carr. And that the Redskins are not going to choose Jameis because they still have RG3. They still got to try to see how good is he going to be, even though I really think that they should trade him. Now, the team that's 6th on that list, though, is the New York Jets. And you might think that could be a decent situation for Jameis in this case. But then again, I don't think that's an ideal situation. Him being out there in the bright city lights, him getting the chance to play out there for the Jets, that's not a good look, I don't think, because now you're gonna have to play against Bill Belichick twice. You're gonna have to see how that goes. You're gonna have to try to adjust to life against them. The Buffalo Bills have themselves a pretty good defense, even though they don't have a coach right now. The Miami Dolphins are a pretty decent team. It's gonna be very, very tough out there, and I hate to say it, but this is gonna be a tough situation here for them, and I don't think this is gonna be too good for them, and we have to see what's gonna happen in that case. Anybody else after the Jets? I think they will choose a quarterback here. Anybody else that probably would, you wouldn't think that the Falcons would. You wouldn't think that the Giants would. The next team that probably would, would have a chance if Jameis slips past the Jets, would be the Rams. But I don't expect him to go all the way down to 10. Not right now, not at this moment, unless there's some unless he has a very bad pro day. But right now, it's either Jameis or Mariota. And like I said, you could see If the Buccaneers could take them at 1, the Titans could take them at 2, the Jets could take them at 6, and a long shot here, the Rams could take them at 10, because I would think that they're probably over with the Sam Bradford experiment at this time. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they go. Nobody else, as far as the non-playoff teams, they are in dire needs of a quarterback. I don't go going all the way down to 16. Honestly, that's a little bit too far for him. That's to go to the Texans. That's a little bit too far for him, honestly, and I just don't see that happening. I really do not see that happening. Teams could trade up though too. That could be another thing as well. Like I said, don't see the Eagles doing that either. But who knows what could happen? We never know. Things can continue to be pretty well. So I don't know what could happen. Anything can come about. So that's the National Football League and what happens here. But I do think that the one thing is he does need to continue to grow. He does need to get mature a little bit. He does have the talent, but the one thing is he does have to mature. He does have to continue to grow. Here in the situation, it's going to be kind of like the situation between him, and it's going to be like the situation between him and it's going to be the situation between him and Johnny Manziel. Now I think that he has a better. He will pan out to be a better pro than Johnny Manziel, but that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen between that, and we don't know what's gonna come about between both of those teams at this time. Now, also going into the NBA, we just got ourselves a Thunder. The Thunder will go ahead and get. The Thunder will go ahead and they will get. Dion Waiters. The Thunder will go ahead. They'll get. They'll get Dion Waiters. Cavaliers get J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, while Reggie Jackson goes to the New York Knicks, and the Knicks also pick up. I think they also did. The Knicks probably pick up a few draft picks to get a chance to shed some money here to go along with that. And then the Cavaliers, if you thought they were done willing and dealing, they weren't done willing and dealing. They went ahead and got themselves made themselves another trade out here. And again, my camera is having a little technicals, but I'm still talking right now. They got themselves another deal here where the Cavaliers got Timothy Mozgov for a couple of picks, where the Denver Nuggets got themselves a couple of picks. Looks like right now they're trying to make themselves a little bit better of a defensive team, but in this case, we have to see what's going to happen here. What do they do? What do they do? And what do they do? I don't know what's going to happen between the both of them. I don't know what's going to happen between the both of them. It's going to be interesting. Here, I still don't think that the Cavaliers got themselves a little bit better in this one. I think they're pretty much the same way in this one too. Honestly, I mean, you get rid of Dion Waiters, but you get J.R. Smith, who's going to chuck up shots, and that's not good for what the Cavaliers are trying to do. And if they really want to keep LeBron for the years coming on through, I mean, that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Right now, you at least have yourself a pretty you kind of made you kind of said that Dion